Hello, my name is Hadley Walker, and today I will be doing my presentation on the Volksdeutsche. The Volksdeutsche were people whose language and culture had German origins but did not hold German citizenships. Although the Volksdeutsche people had German origins, they were still being organized and split up into racial groups, according to the Nazi regime. These racial groups were based on culture, social, and historic criteria that was decided upon by the Nazis. The Volksdeutsche had one or two, at most, indirect relatives who were German. Many did not speak German and did not identify themselves as a part of German citizens. Adolf Hitler was the one who came up with the term Volksdeutsche. Most of these people were found in Eastern European countries such as Poland, Ukraine, Baltic states, and Romania. Some background information on the Volksdeutsche was that they were settlers who were invited to settle in Russia and later became part of Germany because of their craftsmen, trading, and professional skills. These settlers were not allowed in other large cities and were confined to a place known as the German Quarter, which was located in Moscow, Russia, because higher powers were afraid they would infect the citizens with alien ideas. There were some people who were of different direct descents other than German. Those included Scandinavian and Baltic descent. There were even some Jewish Germans, which the Nazis did not approve of and coined them as racially German. There were a few people who had an impact on the Volksdeutsche, such as Peter the Great, who brought many German experts and German engineers to Russia because he wanted to westernize the Empire of Russia, and Catherine the Great, who at the time was the Empress of Russia and allowed the colonization of ethnic Germans to attempt to Germanize Polish areas. The Treaty of Versailles affected the Volksdeutsche. The reconstruction of Poland due to the Treaty of Versailles made some of the ethnic Germans Polish citizens. Because of this, there was tension between the newly accepted citizens and the administration in Poland. Some ethnic Germans, such as the Austrian Germans, were not allowed back into Germany. When the Nazis got involved with the Volksdeutsche, they created a group known as the NSDAP, AO, which was a Nazi party that had one main goal, and that was to spread the Nazi ideologies among the ethnic Germans. Germany annexed Poland, meaning the Germans added this territory to theirs and used ethnic Germans as an excuse because they were already living in this territory. When Germany annexed Poland, it became known as Bloody Sunday. Bloody Sunday was a day with a series of unfortunate events relating to Germans invading a Polish city with a large number of ethnic Germans already living there. German soldiers were sniping at the Polish military who were trying to retreat, and all in all, this day many people lost their lives, whether or not they were Polish or German. The Germans took over the city and killed a few thousand of the Polish civilians, and the place where many of these executions took place was known as the Valley of Death. At the beginning of World War II, most of the German population lived in colonies, and during 1939 and 1940, under the German-Soviet agreement, the German government was allowed to relocate the Volksdeutsche out of the German-controlled Poland and bring them to the Reich. Before World War II broke out, the Nazis were able to use the excuse of the Volksdeutsche to justify Nazi Germany's actions. For example, Poland was annexed by Germany and they used the Volksdeutsche to justify the annexation. The ethnic Germans were then forced to take action in the sabotage, political murder, and ethnic cleansing when Germany invaded Poland. The ethnic Germans began to notice that they were being treated unfairly by the Nazi regime, and they were forced to take part in the Nazi military and had no other choices. Overall, the ethnic Germans were always seen as a minority and did not have a voice. This only got worse when the Nazis came into the picture. And here are some of my sources.